The government is refusing to release any more UFO videos. Okay, this is very important. Get in here. This is Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please hit the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. And as I'm going through this, please comment below and let me know what you think about all this. Okay, this is coming from John Greenwald of the Black Vault. Sometimes I disagree very strongly with John Greenwald. He tends to side more with the debunker camp and the Mick West side of things than I feel is helpful. I would like to move the conversation forward and not be stuck in this limbo where whether we should have the conversation or not. Does it exist? Does it not exist? Yes, it exists. Let's move on. But I really respect his efforts to FOIA the government, to get all these documents from the government. And I think he has been very helpful to the UFO community in that regard. Well, recently he has gotten a response to another one of his requests where he had tried to get more UFO videos under the pretext that these three videos that Lou Elizondo and his team got released. Well, we already have UFO videos. They're already in the public domain. They're official military videos. So why can't we get more? So he did this FOIA with that reasoning in mind, and he has received his response finally. It took them a while to get back to him, but the response is not good news. So without further ado, let me let him tell it to you straight.
And it says, the U.A.P. task force has responded back to DNS 36 and have stated that the requested videos contain sensitive information pertaining to unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, and are classified and are exempt from disclosure in their entirety under Exemption B5, U.S. Code Section 552, B1, in accordance with Executive Order 13526 and the UAP Security Classification Guide. The release of this information will harm national security as it may provide adversaries valuable information regarding Department of Defense/Navy operations, vulnerabilities, and/or capabilities. No portions of the videos can be segregated for release. While 3 UAP videos were released in the past, the facts specific to those 3 videos are unique in that those videos were initially released via unofficial channels before official release. Those events were discussed extensively in the public domain. In fact, major news outlets conducted specials on these events. Given the amount of information in the public domain regarding these encounters, it was possible to release the files without further damage to national security. The rest is kind of boilerplate.
So the government is claiming national security interests will be violated if more UFO videos are released. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. They're saying they can't even segment out any footage that might not violate national security. Well, the videos that were already out didn't violate national security. They did say, oh, well, further harm, as if those videos had done some harm. Well, that's BS. They didn't do any harm. That is just an excuse they are using not to divulge any information. Now, if they, for example, if they're talking about like the readings, the cockpit readings, and the various readings you can see in those videos at the bottoms and the side of the screen, if those locations and those abilities are compromising national security in some way. You don't want the enemies to know you were at a certain place or you can maneuver in a certain way. Well, you could just crop those out. So, and people would understand. You could say, that part was redacted. And you could even put a little black bar if you wanted to. So yes, that is obviously BS. They are lying and obfuscating, the phenomenon and the reality of the phenomenon, just as they always have. This is extremely disappointing because it comes on the heels of the creation of AIM-SONG, or whatever name is now given to the Pentagon's new UFO agency. Of course, this should come as no surprise, as the heads of that, or I should say the heads of the U.A.P. task force, when they testified before Congress, they were lying to Congress and the American people about the reality of the U.A.P. issue, U.A.P/UFO, whatever name you like. They tried to claim that the pyramid-shaped objects that appeared over the battle group were actually drones, when this is clearly patentedly BS. That incident was seen by many people, and there are various other methods of corroboration. There's radar, there's the visual cameras. So it's all a lie. The people that were running the UAP task force actually had to contradict their chief scientist, Travis Taylor, in order to advance that narrative. And now the government is refusing to release any more videos, even though they could easily crop out anything that could possibly compromise national security. Not that it actually would. The Russians did not invade after the Nimitz video was released. Again, this isn't surprising based on the lies that the UAP task force officials were telling Congress and the American people, but it is extremely disappointing with all the effort that people like Lou and Chris Mellon and TTSA and everybody, all the pilots that have come forward, Ryan Graves, talking about this and, testifying in closed meetings with Congress to create the momentum within the government to create AIM-SONG, or whatever name it is. All of that is going to be wasted if the people that have been obfuscating and lying to the American people forever are running the program. So those guys need to go. I know that Chris Mellon has some juice in government. He comes from a very wealthy, plugged-in family in D.C., and he himself was at a very high level in the government. So I hope that he and his allies can do something to effect change in the leadership of AIM-SONG. The heads of the UAP task force had designated somebody to lead AIM-SONG, and if that choice goes forward, I think all is lost. However, there was some recent language to clarify and expand the scope of AIM-SONG, and to rebrand it, to rename it. And it's possible we'll get a new official leading the way. We can only hope. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Comment below, let me know what you think. Why is the government lying? What are they hiding? How deep is their involvement with the phenomenon? Please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. There's social media links below. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter, trying to grow this platform. That'd be awesome. There's also a PayPal button below if you wanted to support the channel. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.